What's going on, everybody? BrickBuilder here, and welcome back to some Minecraft Vanilla Views, our 1.12 Let's Play. And today, we're going to be working on our Mesa village. In the last episode, we built our first little Mesa house here, really starting the project. Off camera, I simply changed all the acacia wood over here to dark oak to match the roofs of that. And I started laying out our next build here. We're going to be working on the stable, because the plan is that we're going to be moving our horse and such over into this area, since this is more of an area where there would actually be, you know, horses. Like, you wouldn't really keep a horse in some of our other areas like our desert, but in a mesa biome, that would be like the ideal, you know, savanna area for a horse and such. So that's kind of what we're gonna be working on today. We gotta just get the forefront of these walls added on here. But it's very important when we're planning out this village, because this village here is like one of our bigger projects that we've tackled on the server so far, because it's something that involves like an actual plan, you know? Whereas some of our other things have been like less planned out, more of just, hey, let's do it sort of thing. But this one here, we gotta actually plan and design it to be the way we want it to be. This whole village as a whole, it's gotta have a nice structure to it, because like we're working with like a pretty close to us mountain, and we want to have lots of houses and such around here to really give that full village vibe, although we're pretty limited in space, so we really have to work with what we got. And we don't have much space, but we should be able to hopefully make do with how much we've been given. I'm gonna put those as the red terracotta, and then we're gonna go with a very simplistic roof design. I want the roofs to stay pretty simplistic in this area, because I feel like the more complicated roofs we make on one build, we're kind of like inclined to do them on all the builds, and I'd like to not have impossible to build roofs, so we gotta keep it relatively basic for the most part, you know, which is a thing that honestly will work in our village, because, you know, we're in a mesa, so we're trying to work with what we got, and if we make all the builds look like that, it'll seem like that's kind of the design that we're going for. Because it's pretty important, you know, the lore aspect, the planning aspect, and then obviously like the design aspects all matter equally, which is something that we really have to work on. Although we still are defining all of those aspects, because, you know, the Mesa stable is only the second build in this town technically, unless you count that little entranceway. But we built that like way in the beginning of the series, like before we even knew we were going to be building a Mesa village. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. We should hopefully have enough stairs now, because we do go through dark oak stairs quite quickly. Let's just make sure the whole layer is good. It is. Alright. But I have an idea now. I have some good plans. It's gonna hopefully turn out good when this whole thing is done. And we gotta make sure that it works. There we go. Beautiful. Get the flow of all these stairs going here. Placing stairs can always be a hassle, you know, if we don't get all the perfect curves and twists and turns and stuff. But I think we'll be good, you know? So, yeah, there's a lot that this village is going to need before it's considered what we would call completed. Like, this is our big project for the next, you know, upcoming bit here, just to really kind of develop this place. And it's never that this place is really going to be completed, because we can always add a building here or there whenever we want to. But what I'm simply trying to do is I'm trying to get an area in the world that's really, like, flourished and at a point where we can just, you know, reveal it kind of whenever. Now, we're not done yet with the actual build, but we are throwing on some slabs here, and I think you guys will see why in just a second. These are going to pop out. But I have a plan to make this build here have sort of an extra, like, character to it that's going to give it its own, like, unique shape. Because as I did say when we built this first house, the shape of these builds here, I'm going for a very weird and kind of bizarre shape style for houses and stuff, just basic design, because if we go with weirder shapes, it's just going to add a little bit more interest to some of the builds. And then our boring builds, which we don't really want people to focus on, such as just, you know, small residential houses, we can make those more square and more, you know, rectangular and less, I guess you could say, cool, in air quotes sort of thing. You know, that's kind of what we're going to be going for in that area. But I want to do this, like that. Perfect, exactly. Because now I want to add another layer here. It's going to be a very, very small little thing, but that's what we're looking for. It's just like a nice little small increase up here. And we're going to need more red clay. Hopefully we have some. We should hopefully have at least another stack. There we go. We're doing good. We should have plenty to make what we need to make happen here happen. But yeah, I want to put like a nice little rise up here. We're going to go up one more block. And then what we're actually going to do is then we're going to cap this off. Actually, let's go up one more. I feel like that could be a good idea because when we throw the roof on this level, it's going to really feel a little bit smaller. We want this little roof area to actually be visible. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like that, like that. I don't want that to turn yet. Then we're going to do that. At least we have lots of walking space up here because we already did lay down this roof. That's convenient. That's good, right? I think it is. We'll check, obviously, when we get up. But we're going for a nice little extra defined little, I guess you could call it almost like watchtower aspect from the top here. I'm just going to make another crafting table because I don't really want to have to go back down. And please tell me this will be enough resources to do what we need, because hopefully we'll just have enough to make our Mesa stable, you know, go with the way we want it to. And then we can use another, let's go get some more stuff. We're going to need, okay, there's some dark oak. We're going to need just a tad bit more of these, but we're not going to make too many more. Yes, there we go. And I'm going to make a little bit more slabs. We should be good with what we have there. Beautiful. So then, we're going to head on up here. We're going to throw one more layer of, oh my, no, I don't want to fall down again. That would have been, you know, convenient to not fall, but whatever. It's alright, you know, I do fall for awesome builds. It's worth it, you know what, whatever. Here we go, that was intentional. It's all part of my master plan, you know. Alright, so we're going to do that, and then what we got to do is now in the front here, we're going to have to connect that, we're going to do the same here. No. Oh my. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into this build here. There's lots of planning that went into this, because I wasn't even sure if I wanted to use a stable, but I wanted to add I decided I wanted to add the stable because it's just going to give us access to horses in this area, and I'm going to want that because we might consider doing something up on the mountain. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that, so let me know what you guys think. Like, should I be building up on this mountain as well? Because I know that I could do it, but if I do, there's going to be a decent amount of struggle because getting up and down the mountain is going to be a lot harder than you would possibly think it to be. And now what I need to do is I need to get right back there, and I need to just do that because I do want to have some windows right over here. I feel like just having two little front windows like that just works, you know. Just gives a little bit of, you know, character to that top part right there. Just a nice little roof thing here, just to give this a nice little interesting shape as opposed to something really boring and plain. We're going to be removing those because we don't actually need these here. We're going to go for clay, because by putting clay there means we can then put a nice little big window back here, which I do like because, you know, this is a decent view. You get like the whole mountain and stuff, and, you know, stuff like that. This one here you can see the mine from, which is, you know, kind of cool. And then we're going to throw one over here which lets you see like the, you know, the intruders who are coming in, so that way you can get on your horse and save the day if you have to. Now what we got to do is we got to work on the inside of this thing, which means I want to use on the inside, we're going to go for the use of the granite like we did inside of this build here, except we used it with the clay. And in this case, it's going to be sand, I think. Yeah, most likely. Seems good. Alright, so now what we got to do is just got to dig out this floor, you know, and then we're going to mix in all the different stuff. And then we're going to light it up, and we're going to be pretty good. You know, I definitely think that just overall the look of this Mesa stable will hopefully be pretty nice, pretty cool. It's kind of what I'm hoping for in this case. Alright, so. We want a lot more of this to be shown in here. So let's do something like that, and then maybe we can throw some of this in. Is this a little bit too much? It might be. There we go. And then obviously we can always add more if it isn't enough, but I think this might be good. Let's see. It's not terrible. Not 100%. There we go. That's good enough, I would say. And then right there, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do that right there. And then we need some slabs because we need to really fill this roof in. because like we did in here, we don't want to have a hollow roof being visible. Let's just quickly sleep in this bed, which we do conveniently have in this house, and we're going to use this house for sleeping, most likely. That's kind of like, you know, a reason it's there, and it's just there to really fill that space. But we do need to fill up the roof up here, because like this hollowness is not something we want. We want this area to be, you know, covered and confined, I guess. That's like a good way of describing what we're going for. So let's just go ahead and let's just put all of this on. You know, it's working. We definitely will it'll still give the roof a nice little interesting shape, and it'll still be a high roof, but it'll be a realistically high roof, because like if we didn't hollow this out, you know, if we didn't like, you know, fill it in, then the hollow roof would just be a little bit too big. And like there's big, and then there's, you know, like a problem because it's too high of a roof. Like, you know, we want it to stick at like a reasonable level, and that seems pretty reasonable if you ask me, I think. Now, though, we still have a couple more aspects we're going to need, which are we're going to need some sticks. We're going to need to make a bunch of those. And then we're also going to need to make some trapdoors. Not trapdoors, fence gates, which that's 3 of them. That's not going to be enough, though. We're going to want a little bit more than 3 fence gates, you know? But we're definitely going to need some fence gates here, so let's go ahead and just do that. Sounds good if you ask me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to throw 3 over there. And we're going to need 3 over there. So means we're going to need just a tad bit more, just 1 more of these. There we go. And then, bum. We're going to raise these up to the edges like that. Because I just think I want to make, and then that one go like that, because it'll work. That's going to get swapped over to this. Yes, exactly. Same over here. And then what we should be able to do is just go like so. You know, that'll give us like a little jet out, but doesn't actually go that far. Something like that. That'll work pretty good if you ask me. I like it. And then over here, we're going to throw one of our little classic table designs. Because, you know, we're kind of going to be using a lot of those little wooden tables just to give accessories. And then, of course, we got to do what we did over here, where we're going to need the, you know, those. And then also we're going to take some of this. We're going to make those in the, you know, trapdoors. And then we're going to trapdoor up some leaves. And that's actually a good spot because it doesn't cost that many. It only costs like a couple there. Whereas these will cost more, but we have to do it, you know, like we need to have the leaves on the outside just to give some character to the build. Okay, this one's going to be a bit closer in space. Maybe what we'll do is we'll dig this back out 1 more. We could do that, you know. Give me this red sand, yes. Alright, there, we'll dig those 2 down. That seems a lot better if you ask me. And then over here we could put some, but I don't think I'm going to. Because, you know, this area here is already kind of tightly packed. So I don't know if wasting, you know, wasting our trapdoors and leaves and stuff over here is really such a smart move. And we will probably come in here and fill this up in at some point or something. I'm not really sure what we're going to do with this just yet. I think that's going to about do it for today's episode of Minecraft Vanilla Views. I'll move my horse in here off camera, but I think that's honestly what I wanted to do. I think that's just a nice looking, you know, thing. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, obviously, it's much appreciated. And I'll see you guys in yet another episode of Minecraft Vanilla Views, but this was our Mesa stable. Bye!